Deadpool! Yes! They fucking did it! X-Men Origins Wolverine has been erased from my memory forever. It does not exist. What is X-Men Origins? I don't know! It sounds like a shitty fanfic, which is why I don't have any knowledge of it whatsoever. But moving on, Deadpool. Yes! So, it's an amazing movie. It's beautiful. It's some of the... I haven't had this much fun with a comic book movie since Guardians of the Galaxy back in 2014. And that's probably my favorite Marvel movie. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. But Deadpool is giving them a run for their money. So basically, here's how it goes. You got a mercenary named Wade Wilson. He falls in love with a woman named Vanessa. And they're both weird as hell. But that's part of the beauty of it. This romance is workable. I was rooting for this romance. Like... And at one point, Wade says, "Your crazy matches my crazy." And I think that is the purest definition of love ever put forth in a comic book movie. I haven't been invested in a romance like this since probably Amazing Spider-Man with Peter and Gwen, and we know how that turned out, but the chemistry was there, and it's here in this movie, and it's great. I love this couple. And anyway, they fall in love, and it turns out Wade has cancer, and we all know cancer is a bitch. So he, out of desperation, he goes to this organization that promised they can heal him and make him better than he was before. And instead, it turns out they're gonna inject him with a serum, torture him, and then sell him off to the highest bidder as pretty much a super slave. And then he escapes after the mutation kicks in. He gets a superhuman healing factor, but it screws up his face. He looks like a walking tumor, and that's the best I can use to describe him. He is a living, breathing tumor that heals from everything. And so he dresses up in a red outfit and goes after the people that ruined his life. And now, the first thing I have to say is Ryan Reynolds is amazing. He truly envelops the role of Deadpool. And I have to admit that it's the best since Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man. The humor is great. The voice is great. Ryan Reynolds gets a lifetime pass from here on out. It doesn't matter what he does, but thanks to what he did here with Deadpool, I don't care. He will always be an awesome person in my eyes. I don't care if he's in the next 50 Shades of Grey movie. He's safe. I love this guy. And even his romance interest, Marina Baccarin, am I saying that right? I don't fucking know. But even she was cool. She wasn't like a damsel in distress, cry out for help like Mary Jane and Spider-Man. No, she's actually pretty badass. The first time you see her, like a guy slaps her on the ass and she grabs his nuts in a vice-like grip. And men, you know, that's a woman you don't want to piss off. Don't piss off the woman who will rip your balls off. And the villains, Ajax and Angel Dust, they're passable. I mean, they give off a decent amount of menace, they do their jobs, but we all know the reason we're actually here to see this movie is because of Deadpool. We're here to see Deadpool be hilarious and kick ass. But they do their jobs fine, and honestly, they're a lot better than some of Marvel's other villains like Yellow Jacket and Ant-Man. Seriously, Marvel, get your goddamn villains together. You can do so much better. But yeah, where was I? So, I cannot end this review without talking about the film's humor, because this is one of the funniest films I've seen in a long time. I was in tears many times in this film, like huge laughter tears, and my ribs were hurting, and the humor is all over the place. You have clever jokes, like at one point, like blood splatters all over from Deadpool, and he goes, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." And it's a subtle joke about a book where a girl becomes a woman, and we all know what happens when a girl becomes a woman, you know. And then there's dumb humor, and like he farts and he goes, "#drive-by." It's beautiful. And I know people are gonna be mad. Those are the small jokes. I'm not gonna waste the best. The best jokes are where he breaks the fourth wall with aplomb, if that's the word. I think that's the word. But he takes the fourth wall and he beats it into submission, and it is beautiful. And the action scenes. the action scenes are actually really good for a comedy film. Like one part where he's counting down bullets while he kills bad guys. It's actually really well done. I've never heard of this director, Tim Miller, I think it is, but he's going places. He's going places. He has fulfilled nerd dreams everywhere, and we are going to bow before him for the work he's done here. And even like the heroes, you got Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, they're pretty badass. Colossus was just like he was in the comics, a gentleman with a Russian accent, and like at one point he sees like a naked lady, he's like, cover yourself, please. My Russian accent's terrible, I apologize. But he's such a gentleman, it's hilarious. And then Negasonic Teenage Warhead, the actress, Brianna Hildebrand, for me personally, I like girls with short hair, so she is gorgeous, and she was so bitingly sarcastic, like my ex, honestly. But yeah, I mean, everything in this film works perfectly. The only problem I have is that there are some pacing issues where like some points like you are invested, but you want to get to the Deadpool action. But I'm not going to hold that against the movie because like I mentioned earlier, you really do get super invested in this movie. You care about pretty much every character. You hate the bad guys, you love the heroes, you root for the romance, and because of all these elements coming together, this is a movie I'm going to give 5 stars to. It is, I'm not going to say masterpiece, but it is an excellent movie, and anyone, well, not anyone, don't take your fucking kids to see this. Do not take your kids to see this movie. This is not Spider-Man. This is not like Iron Man. This is not something the kids can enjoy. There are F-bombs, violence, and blood galore. But nevertheless, 5-star movie. If you're legal age or your parents are cool with it, see this movie. I cannot recommend it enough.